everyone. Welcome to your Tuesday. Jason and Alicia here with you. We all survived the eclipse, which, excuse me.
Did you survive? Are you all right?
Nope. I think that's one of the side effects of the eclipse. I don't know what's going on there. I'm sorry.
Well, good morning. You need a sip of, okay,
Yeah,
you're good?
good. I got
Good.
this.
Let's get over to John. He was out last week a few days, and you can
That's
hear
all right.
the
We
remnants.
give him a break. You didn't put the eclipse helmet on, dude.
No, the eclipse helmet.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yep. You'll eat a bug if you don't do that. 41 degrees outside right now. It is cloudy. It is actually pretty nice out there. A little damp, but we're dealing with 30s where we've cleared out. So clear skies, 30s, but nobody's at freezing. It's a very nice morning. At some point here, we're going to never look back at the 32 degree or freezing mark ever again. I'm wondering if we're done with it already. So temperatures are going to get into the upper 50s, hanging around 60 this afternoon, a phenomenal day, breaking in the sunshine right around 9 or 10 o'clock. So mostly sunny today. We will talk about a very long-lived warm-up coming up in your forecast.
John, thank you. I've been tracking a few crashes here around the Twin Cities Metro. A different one popped up here, 35W to 494. I'm tracking it on traffic cameras. Here it is, 35W northbound at 82nd Street, just before you get onto 494. Looks like a few vehicles involved in this fender bender blocking the left shoulder. So just a heads up if this is your route. Again, this is South Metro, not far from MSP International. This morning, we're following big developments in the Apple River stabbing trial.
In a matter of hours, the defendant, Nikolai Mew, could take the stand for the very first time. Michelle Beck is at the St. Croix County Courthouse right now, where the trial will pick back up around 8 o'clock this morning. Michelle.
Yeah, Jason, Alicia, prosecutors could rest their case as early as today. Then, of course, defense will take over, and they could call to the stand today the defendant himself. We're talking about Nikolai Mew here. We are now in week 2 of his murder trial. We've seen a lot of emotions thus far in the courtroom. Mew is accused of killing teen Isaac Schumann and trying to kill 4 other people on the Apple River 2 summers ago. He's claimed self-defense, that he was outnumbered on the river. A friend of the teen victim yesterday testified he tried to stop the bleeding moments after his group taunted Mew, something he admitted.
You believe your actions there with the rest of your friends are taunting him?
It could be considered that, yeah.
Did you go over to where Isaac had fallen?
Yes, I did.
What did you do when you got over there?
We picked him up and brought him to the shore.
Prosecutors have said that they only have 2 witnesses left. So, of course, that is when defense could pick up. Guys, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Michelle Beck reporting live for us this morning. Thank you. We're also following a developing story over the last 12 hours in Minneapolis, where a homicide investigation is underway. Police are looking for whoever shot and killed a 24-year-old man in the Phillips neighborhood. This happened near the intersection of 29th Street and Portland Avenue. We spoke with Police Chief Brian O'Hara at the scene, and he did not hold back.
It's extremely difficult as police officers to see the results of this violence day in and day out, to see young people who have been killed dead on the street.
Police say they found a handgun nearby with an extended magazine. Right now, no one is in custody.
At the state capitol, a new bill looking to cut off copper wire thefts is at the source is now moving forward. The bill would require a state license to buy or sell scrap copper wiring in Minnesota. It's in response to the thieves ripping the wiring out of streetlight fixtures in St. Paul. It's costing the city more than $1 million and causing public safety hazards. However, people in the scrap industry worry that this proposal will only chase the criminals across state lines.
The chief problem with this bill is that most criminals don't, they're not famous for having their paperwork in order. They don't always stop down to the DMV and get a license.
And lawmakers say under the legislation, electrical contractors already licensed by the state would automatically be licensed to sell scrap copper. And people with leftover wires from do-it-yourself projects would be allowed to donate it to recyclers, but not to sell it. The bill now heads to the Ways and Means Committee.
We're now less than 22 days away from Uber and Lyft possibly leaving Minneapolis. That's unless city leaders hit reverse on a new policy requiring rideshare companies to boost driver pay. This Thursday, the full council could vote to reconsider the ordinance. In the last 24 hours, a budget committee was expected to vote on funding to support new and existing rideshare alternatives to Uber and Lyft. Despite being taken off the agenda, it was discussed anyway.
This, I think, is a perfect example of what happens when council isn't consulting staff and working with them, because I'm so glad that we are able to fulfill this and much more.
Now, that was Council Member Lene Palmisano accusing the council of not consulting staff about existing rideshare programs. Councilmember Robin Wansley, who co-authored the ordinance, spoke yesterday denying those claims.
Happening right now, Memorial Blood Centers is in a blood emergency and is in desperate need of donors. NBC tells us it currently has 2 to 3 days supply for O-negative blood and a very low supply of platelets. O-negative is the universal blood and the most sought after, but Memorial says they need all types right now. Officials with the center say just one donation can save up to 3 lives.
A White Bear Lake dentist's office is now back open 4 months after a semi-truck driver crashed into its office. We were there yesterday as White Bear Dentist celebrated its reopening. That crash happened back in December. Police say the driver veered off 694 before crossing White Bear Avenue and slamming into that building. That driver managed to avoid any other cars or people. However, one of the owners, Dr. Colleen Holtz, was hurt when the ceiling and walls caved in.
It's a completely different outlook on life. Like, those little things don't matter. It's all family, friends, is all what's important.
Now, police are still investigating why the driver crashed, but say drugs and alcohol are not factors.
Take a look at this. A black bear cub is safe this morning after being rescued from Highway 65 in Isanti County. The sheriff's office says a woman spotted the cub in the roadway just after 9 o'clock Sunday night. She pulled over and got the bear out of the road. A deputy then took the bear into a wooded area nearby where mom and another cub were waiting. Nice to see the family back together again.